fellow geeks, and welcome back to Running Geek Girl. My name is Heather, the Running Geek Girl. Well, it's summer, and if you live in an area like I do, it is unbearably hot, like really, really hot and humid. Seriously, it's like walking through soup outside sometimes. The world is my sauna. So with that in mind, let's talk about a few tips about running or exercising outdoors in warm weather. First of all, let's talk about things that you need to be wearing. The obvious thing that you need to be wearing is sunscreen. Your sunscreen needs to be at least 15 SPF. I tend to go a little higher than that because I just burn easily. And protect those eyes from the sun as well. You need to get some sunglasses that can filter out UV rays. My personal favorite running sunglasses are from Gooder. I'll put a link down in the description. They're fantastic sunglasses. They're very lightweight, they don't slip off my face when I'm sweating, and they are affordable. So definitely check them out. As far as your clothes go, wear something that is light and breathable. Don't wear long sleeves, obviously. Don't wear long pants. Don't wear a sweatsuit. There are some people that consider running in long sleeves and pants because they want to sweat off some extra weight. This is a terrible idea. All you're doing is losing water weight that you're just going to have to replenish later in order to keep yourself from passing out. So just skip that. Wear something that's comfortable. Also, when you're selecting your clothes, you might want to consider looking at the material that your clothes are made out of. Usually the most available materials that you're going to have are made out of cotton. The problem with running with cotton in hot weather is that instead of taking moisture away from your skin and allowing it to evaporate and cool your body off, it just tends to hang on to that moisture, and cotton gets heavy as it gets wet. So you're going to start adding extra weight while you're trying to run or exercise or walk, which is just not fun. On top of that, when cotton gets wet, it tends to add a little more friction when it rubs against your skin, and that leads to chafing, which is definitely not fun. What you want to look for are materials that are usually referred to as tech shirts. These are the kind of slidey materials that you see a lot of race shirts made out of. These are better to use in warmer weather because they will take moisture away from your skin without getting heavy. They're very breathable materials, and they're available in the sports section of pretty much any place where you can get sports clothing. If you're also wanting to shield your eyes from the sun and you're thinking about a hat, you might want to consider wearing a visor instead. Since they're open at the top, they allow your head to breathe and release a little more heat from your body, which is a little more comfortable. If you are just going to wear a hat, however, you might want to think about sticking it in the freezer overnight before you run, and that way you're putting something nice and cool on your head when you go out the next day. Something else that I have in my running arsenal are these nice compression sleeves. You can find lots of these available from different companies online. They're very readily available. Not only do they wick sweat off of my arms, but you can also get them wet ahead of time in order to keep your arms cool. You can also slide ice down in them to go ahead and melt against your skin, and that definitely keeps you cool when it is super warm outdoors. Next, let's talk about how you should hydrate during your run. When it's hot outside, you can lose between 6 and 12 ounces of sweat for every 20 minutes that you're out there, so you definitely want to replenish that for your body. Try to drink a little bit of water before you go out running, not too much because you don't want that sloshing around in your stomach when you run. You should be taking another small drink at least every 20 to 30 minutes as you're working out. One thing that'll help is if you plan a running route that has water stops on it, either going past your house repeatedly so that you can stop in and get a drink if you need it, or going past places where you know there are water fountains or places to get a drink. Also, if you tend to be a fairly heavy sweater, consider adding electrolytes to your drink in order to replenish the salt that your body is losing through sweat. I have a video coming out soon, in fact it may be the next video that's going to be up on the channel, about the proper things to think about when you're hydrating, so stay tuned to that for more information. Finally, what really helps when you are going to run in warm weather is if you plan ahead. Take a look at the weather. If the weather is going to be in the mid to upper 90s or hotter than that, reconsider working outside. And this is doubly so if it's going to be humid. When you're running, your body temperature is regulated by the sweat being evaporated off of your skin, and that helps your body to cool down naturally. However, when it's really humid outside, that water tends to stick to your skin and not go anywhere, and therefore your body's not going to cool down as efficiently as it needs to. So always check your local weather and check the humidity level to make sure that it's safe to go outside. If possible, plan your route to go through shady areas and try to avoid areas with blacktop. If there's absolutely no way to avoid the blacktop, then at least try to stick to shady areas of blacktop. When you're running in the heat, try to run more by feel. Don't try to push for a specific pace. In fact, you should probably pull your pace back and not push quite as hard if it's going to be really warm outside. If you're able to, try and run either very early in the morning or later at night. This isn't always easy. Trust me, I know I'm not a morning person, but there have been times when I've had to get up at 4 a.m. just to make sure that I can get my full run in that I need before the sun comes up and it just gets blazingly hot outside. Or you can go the opposite direction, wait for the sun to go down and wait for the weather to cool off just a little bit and then take an evening run. Either way, if you're going to go early in the morning or if you're going to go later at night, make sure that you're taking the proper precautions. Make sure that you are clearly visible. Wear lights, wear a safety vest, and make sure that oncoming traffic can see you. You should also be familiar with the signs of heat exhaustion in either yourself or with someone that you're running with. If you feel faint, if you feel dizzy, if you feel disoriented, if you've stopped sweating, if your skin becomes cold and clammy, you should slow down or stop running completely. Find a safe place to sit down and get fluids into your body as soon as you can. If it doesn't get any better, then please look for help. If all else fails, there is nothing wrong with using the treadmill. I know it's not everybody's favorite way to run, but it's a lot safer than risking heat exhaustion. Trust me, I've gotten just as much exercise off of the treadmill as I have running around outdoors. Sometimes it's not worth making myself that miserable just to get a run in. I can easily do it indoors in the air conditioning on a treadmill. So there are a few hints about running, walking, working out in warm weather. If you found this helpful, make sure that you let me know by giving me a thumbs up. Make sure that you subscribe if you haven't already, because don't forget, I've got that hydration video coming up soon and lots more on this channel. Don't forget to follow me on social media. You can find me in the links down in the description box below. You can find me across most platforms under the name Running Geek Girl. Summer is here, so let's enjoy it. I'm glad that you can be here, and I can't wait to see you next time. Happy running.